Companies' main objective is to increase their profits as much as possible, right? Your objective is to safeguard your wallet as much as possible. Well, unfortunately, with these products I'm about to go through, not just products, services, we've been tricked to buy them for one reason or the other. And by the time we're done with this list, I think a lot of you are going to realize you've been got. The very first one, when these things came out, I thought, we can see through this rubbish. Someone decided, let's design an earphone without the part that keeps it in your ear. Which means not only does this earphone cost a whole lot more than regular earphones, I was getting music just fine. I was hearing whatever I needed to hear just fine with my regular earphones. But someone now decided, you know what? Not only are we going to make it cost more, but we're also going to make it very easy for you to lose them. So then you have to buy them again. So I'm having to pay this high price more than once. When I need my earphones, I'm running around, I'm working out, I'm moving around. I need it to stay in my ear, but you've decided the new design is just have a balance, have this balancing act. So you're making my ears work for how much? Makes no sense. Let me show you the statistics. This is how often these earphones get lost. The sad part is, a lot of you know you end up losing them. But you know what? For the status and the clout that comes with wearing a specific look, you keep buying them. So if you need earphones, you know what? Do what you want to do with your money. Just understand that these things don't make sense. They do have earphones that still stick to your ear and you hear the same sound. For me, listen, I am not paying that much for earphones. The earphones will have to be giving me soundtrack from heaven, like direct from the throne. Expensive, ridiculously priced kitchen appliances. Is it just me? Is it just the algorithm, what they show me? Because why are kitchen appliances that do the exact same thing, or just a little bit more than the usual, why are they costing an arm and a leg? Why? What is in the material? Are we now sourcing it? Are we now getting the coffee beans from Africa? Toaster for 300 and something dollars? Legit. Like, I'm not making this up. I'm not exaggerating. 300 and something dollars. Touch screen. We have to buy a refrigerator for the house. And let me not even mention names and whatnot. But one of the fridge, all it does, it has this glass part of it. I tap it and it illuminates so I can see into the fridge. I'm okay with it. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful idea. Heck, it'll keep the kids from constantly opening the fridge to see what's in there, right? But is the extra price just so I can tap and see into the fridge? I can do the same one move and see into the fridge. Like, but that's even maybe it can be justified. Cooking pans and pots for how much? What? They look amazing. They look amazing. And trust me, I'm all for making your home feel good, look good, and be elevated because, hey, we work hard and so we can enjoy our lives, right? I can buy a cooking spoon at dollar store for $1.25, but then I can also buy a very beautiful one at Target for $12. It would never make sense because they both achieve the same thing, right? So I'm not against you getting something nice and something beautiful, but we have to draw the line somewhere. Now we're now paying for aesthetics. We're now paying for looks, and we have to draw the line at some point. You know, cooking spoon for $12 compared to $1. Okay, hey, if you can handle $12, but cooking spoon for $100 and something dollars, because why? They look nice if you don't use them, but once you start using them, then your pots and pan that cost $1,000, yes, I'm exaggerating here, looks worse than the one from Walmart for $50. This is all trickery. Trickery to pay for aesthetics, pay for looks, when really it's not doing much more than your usual. Get you things that look nice, but be smart. Understand when they've really, really hiked up that markup. Are you currently renting a storage space? Most of the time, when we rent out a storage space, is because we've downsized. We've downsized for whatever reason, and we need to hold on to what we have just for a few months until because where we are, it's not permanent. Get it? But if it's been over a year, now you're lying to yourself. That's where you've been tricked, because out of sight, out of mind. What you don't know is you've already moved on. You've already moved on. You're still paying for your past life. What you're really doing is paying a rent for you and then a rent for your things. In 2024, of high rent, increased expenses, increased cost of living, you've decided to increase your cost of living even more by paying for a storage space. I know, I know. When we break it down, when I break it down now, you're like, at the time, I know, because you had good intentions, right? Your plan was to save money, because if you were to buy everything from scratch, that would be a lot more expensive than the storage. But if you're paying for storage month after month, it's been 12 months, is the math still mathing? Are you still coming out on top? Because the cost of renting for 12 months, and be honest with yourself, if it's just household stuff, most of it, there's only maybe a little bit of it you'll keep. Most of it is time to move on. It's time to either get rid of it or find a way to bring it in. If it's business furniture, or say you had a restaurant or whatever, you have office furniture, it's time to make a decision, because it's been over a year, and I'm giving that year just to have you look at yourself in the mirror. Because if it's just been a few months, it may be hard for you to convince yourself it's time to go. But if it's been less than a year, think about it. Do the math. Now that you've settled, now that you're in your new place, it's honestly a waste of money. But we've been tricked to think, no, this is a good way to save while you're figuring things out. Let's hold on to this for you. And when you have things settled, you can come back for it. They know you won't come back for it. It's just charging your credit card, and you're not even paying attention, because it's just bills. These elaborate outdoor furnishing. Is it just me, or are we trying to turn outdoor into our living rooms? Like, the whole point of wanting to be outdoors, for those of us who would love to be more outdoorsy, is to be out in the elements, to enjoy nature, to enjoy the screen-free life, to enjoy just quieting everything down and being out, one with nature, right? But it feels like we're trying to pretty much just take our living room and kitchens and just put them outside. And I'm going, here's how we're being tricked with it. Are we actually going to be using these things? Because I see outdoor kitchens, and they're so elaborate now. Some of them have the wine chillers. If you're not entertaining often, if you're not hosting often, do you really need the elaborate kitchen setup outside? Before, it was about just getting you that amazing grill, the good grill and that was it. That was the echelon of the echelons, right? And it's just gradually grown now. It's growing so big that it feels like we're trying to get living room life and indoor life outside. But the whole point of going out is to have something different from indoor life. If you can afford it, if you host often, or if you spend a lot of time outside, because it's not necessarily just for hosting. If you spend a lot of time outside, if you and your family have already spent a lot of time outside, then okay. But I would be careful taking out that home line of credit, or using that credit card, or whatever, to build this elaborate outdoor kitchens and outdoor living rooms. I can understand some people who put TV outside for sports, but if you're putting TV outside because you plan on watching TV while you're outside, you're defeating the point. But the way we've been tricked, they sell us this lifestyle and tell us we are going to get joy and happiness once we adopt this lifestyle. Meanwhile, our wallets are not yet to that level, but because we're hoping to live this lifestyle, because if we can just get that lifestyle, then we will have more happiness and more fun in life and more joy in life. Then we shell out that line of credit, we shell out that credit card to get this lifestyle. And then after we get it, We barely use it. So before you fall into this trap and this trickery of elaborate outdoor furnishing and kitchen and all that, and carpet, we're having carpet outside when it rains, and after one summer it's all moldy, it makes no sense. Think about it and don't get got. Hold your money, hold your wallet. I'm not going to mention a specific company, but this covers them all. Food delivery. Yes, here's a trickery. Here's the thing, because we've been having pizzas delivered to us since what year it was normal, but I'm talking restaurant food being delivered to us. This is a behavior that really, really got popular during the pandemic necessity, right? We needed that service, and it kept the restaurants open, it kept people hired, kept business going, and that was fine for what it was and when it was. The problem is, pandemic ended, and rather than living that as lockdown behavior, we've just been tricked to believe this is now the way of life. This is normal. It's normal for a restaurant to have two different prices, one for regular coming in and one for if you want food delivery. It's normal for services, for companies to charge us 10-20% of our bill so they can deliver to it. I'm not even mad at the company, because listen, their objective is to increase their profit and create new money however possible. Startups, that's their objective. Our objective is to protect our wallet from all those people trying to get into it. Well, food delivery has to be the biggest violation because we've been tricked to think this is normal. It is normal for you to want restaurant food without going to the restaurant. But the part that they keep glossing over is having to pay 20% more. And then on top of that, we're doing tips. It's okay to pay for convenience every now and then. It's okay to pay for convenience during emergencies, or, there's certain times where you can't help it. It's what it is, right? You have to. I get that. But the trickery is that we've now accepted it to be the norm. Friday evening, all right, let's get food delivered. Get your butt up and drive. I'm using daylight, so the light is going to be in and out, is what it is. All right, the next one is expensive makeup. We've been tricked to believe the expensive makeup is what will solve our problem. The expensive makeup is actually what will give us that look. If you can get the right makeup, only a few, I really, really like a few are really like that, are really worth it. They're quality that would actually do what we want to achieve. Like Ilia mascara. Yeah, that one is worth. That one is worth. I mean, yeah. I don't have lashes. These are my lashes, and then the mascara. Yes, I see the difference when I'm without makeup and then I apply the mascara. Yeah, Ilia and the Better Than Whatnot. Those two, yes, they are worth the extra, and I don't even think that's the most expensive. But I say that to say just a few are really worth the amount of money they are asking for. The rest of them, a lot of them, is just markup. Because really, with makeup, it's all down to technique. What we should be learning is techniques. If you have the techniques down, you can use drugstore makeup and achieve the same look. Heck, if you work on your skin, you can use drugstore makeup to achieve the same look. If you have problem skin, like back in the day I used to have really bad acne, there are situations where you do have to pay the cost, is what it is. But for most of us who are just looking for makeup just to paint our face and doll up, we don't have to pay what these brands are asking for. I go into Sephora and Ulta and whatnot, and I cannot. I'm like, what? If you find something that works and it happens to be expensive, cool. But if you're going straight for the expensive stuff because you think that's what works, you've been tricked. So if you bought any of that during Black Friday, maybe stop by your drugstore and see, or check out your generic. You may be just fine. High-end anything. Listen, I know we've beat this buying designer stuff. We've beat that horse to death. So I'm not even really coming hard on that, because you spend $2,000 on a bag. Heck, now it's what, 5,000, 12,000 on a bag. I spend money on hotel room, and to you that may be tomato. So I'm not even coming hard on the fact that you're buying designer. What I'm trying to get us to see when it comes to high end anything is the trickery of paying more just for status or for brand. Our reason for buying anything, and it's not just clothes and bags and jewelry. This is everything. This has seeped into everything, and that's the power of social media. Thanks to social media, we all now want high end, and we all want the status and the names and the class, to be in the class, to show we're worth the class, to show we belong to a certain class. Thanks to that, that has seeped into everything. It's a lot of high end for everything. The trickery is the company is trying to convince us that us with our average wallet, we're not poor, we're not miserable, but average wallet, we're not yet there. But we, with our average wallet, can afford to spend just like the wealthy, just like those who have a lot, whose financial class is higher than ours. Yeah, we too can. Everyone else is. They tell you everyone else is, and they tell everyone else is, and they trick us into thinking we need to have these things to have a certain quality of life, because our lives right now, we're missing out, right? They don't bring down the price so we can afford it with our average wallet. No, 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 no. They convince us to spend as much as the wealthy, who, to them, the cost of this things is only what, 0.5% of their income. But to you, that's 20, 30% of your income. That's where the trickery is. If you can afford it, shoot, go ahead and buy it. The wise ones are actually the ones who get the same look, the same effect for less the price. Those are the ones who get the companies. Everyone else falling into it, the companies are getting us, right? I know this is definitely going to help you safeguard your wallet. It's going to help you think twice before you buy any of these things. Am I missing any? Let me know in the comment section. Am I missing anything? Is there anything else that we've been tricked into paying for? I had one other thing on the list, but I let it go because I think it's very helpful. Maybe I'll see if it's in the comment section, if any of you mention it, and then I'll go, yeah, I felt the same. Anywho, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.